Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And before you continue watching this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are watching this video for the first time, give it a like or a thumb up so that many people can view this video. Today I'll do a question on financial accounting for the company. So I'll read the question. The following balances were extracted from the books of Pillar Limited as at June 2022. Yeah, we have the ordinary share capital all the way to bad debts written off. So these are trial balance, and you can see it's balancing at 955, 600, 955, 600. So I'll go to additional information. Number one, inventory as at 30th June 2022 was valued at shillings 24 million. So I just note it here. Yeah, this is the closing inventory. So I just put it here, 24,000, because I'll use the values in thousand. The shillings, I'll use them in thousands. So I'll go to additional information number two. As at 30th June 2022, accrued insurance expenses amounted to shillings 1,700. So I just write it here. The accrued, I just write the amount 1,700, while outstanding salaries and wages amounted to shillings 4.5 million. So I just write 4,500 there. Additional information number three, depreciation is to be provided per annum as follows. We have building at 2.5% on reducing balance. So I'll just write the percentage here. Then equipment is on 10% on straight line basis. So 10%. Then motor vehicle is on 20% on reducing balance. So I just write 20%. Yeah. Then I'll go to additional information number four. Provide for audit fees and corporate tax for the year ended 30th June 2022 at shillings 6 million and shillings 35,500,000 respectively. So I'll start with the audit fee. So I'll put 6,000. Then for corporate tax, I'll put 35,500. Yeah, then the directors proposed transfer of shillings 7.5 million to the general reserve. So I just write it here. Then dividends of 10% for ordinary shares. So the dividend will be 10%. So required A, statement of profit or loss for the year ended 30th June 2022. B, statement of financial position as at 30th June 2022. Yeah, so this is a question on financial accounting. Yeah. So in BDA, this falls under financial accounting. Yeah, so I'll do the question. So I'll start with the statement of profit or loss. So I'll write pillar. Yeah, it is the statement of profit. Or loss for the year ended 30th June 2022. Yeah, so I'll create the bottom border. I'll create the bottom border. Then I'll merge and center. Then I will bold that. Yeah, I'll do the same to this. I'll also highlight this. Then I merge and center. Then I'll bold it. The same I'll do to the third row. I'll merge and center. Then I bold. Yeah. Then the shillings were supposed to be in thousands. I'll just copy this. And I'll also bold it. Yeah, so I'll start. Yeah, on the profit, statement of profit or loss, I'll start with the sales. So I'll just go to sales and copy. And then I copy the amount. It's on the credit side. So I'll just copy it. It's sales. So that's an income. So I'll go now. The next thing is the cost of goods sold. So I'll just write cost of goods sold. Yeah, I'll use the initials. Yeah, so we know that the cost of goods sold is the opening inventory plus purchases less closing inventory. Yeah, so I'll check at the opening inventory. So I'll go to the trial balance. And you can see here, we have inventory on 1st July 2021. So this is the opening inventory because the financial year begins on 1st July 2021 and ends on 30th June 2022. So this is the opening inventory. So I'll pick it. Then I'll add it to the purchases. So my purchases are here on the trial balance. Then I'll subtract the closing inventory. And additional information, we are told that inventory as of 30th June 2022 was valued at shillings 24 million. So this is our closing inventory. So I'll just pick it, 24,000. Yeah, then because I want the cost of goods sold to be in negative, I'll put a bracket to all that. Then I'll put a negative sign outside the bracket so that when I enter, the value will be in negative. So once I have the cost of goods sold, I'll get the gross profit. Gross profit. Yeah, so the gross profit will be the sum of sales and cost of goods sold. So I just sum these two. Enter. So once I have that value, I'll just create a top border. Yeah, then after the gross profit, so that's the gross profit. So after the gross profit, I'll check whether there was any income. So I'll go to the trial balance. Then I can see there's discount received. Yeah, discount received. It's a gain. Yeah, so we treat it as an income. So I'll just put it there, just equals to then discount received, because this is the discount that received on purchase of goods. So it's an income. It's like a gain on your side. Yeah, so I'll add it to the gross profit so that I sum this to get the total income. Yeah, so I'll have that as the total income, and I'll create a top border. I'll create a top border. Yeah. So after that, there's no any other income. So I'll go to expenses and losses. Go to expenses and losses. So I just bold this. Then I'll create a bottom border. Yeah, so I'll check the trial balance for expenses. So I'll start here, ordinary share, purchases, no, we have used it, sales, no, buildings, no, accounts receivable and payable, no, discount allowed, yeah, discount allowed is an expense, huh? Yeah, because it's what you give when people buy from you. So it's an expense on your side. So I'll pick it. And I want it to be negative. So I'll say equal sign, then I put a negative sign, then I pick the value because I want all my expenses to be in negative. Yeah, let's continue. Yeah, so that's the first expense, the discount allowed. Then I'll also check through. Yeah, there's no any other expense here. Then the other expense will be the director's emoluments. So I'll pick it and just copy director's emoluments. And I also want it to be negative, so I just pick it. Yeah. The next expense is salaries and wages. Yeah, and on salaries and wages, there was an adjustment. Yeah, there was an adjustment. So I'll put a bracket. So I'll pick the salary and wages, which is on the trial balance. Then I'll add to, we are told under additional information number 2, that as of 30th June 2022, accrued insurance expenses amounted to shillings 1.7 million, while outstanding salaries and wages amounted to shillings 4.5. So outstanding, we'll add the outstanding wages and salary. So I'll add this to what is on the trial balance. Yeah, to get the total. Sorry. No. So I'll pick that, then close the bracket. So yeah, so we'll have it as the total as what was there on the trial balance, 81,500 plus 4,500 outstanding. You add it back. Yeah, because it's the expense for the current year. Yeah, it's form part of the expense for the current year. So I'll go to another item. We have administrative expenses. So I'll pick it, and there was no adjustment to this. So I just pick it the way it is. Then another item will be insurance. Yeah, and insurance, there was adjustment under additional information. So let me read it. So just pick this insurance, then you adjust. So I'll add it to, because we are told as at 30th June, accrued insurance expenses amounted to shillings 1,700. Yeah, so you add the accrued. If it was a prepayment, then you subtract it from what is on the trial balance. But if it is an accrued expense, then you add it, because you assume that is supposed to be paid this year. Yeah. So I'll have that. Then we have bank balance, inventory. Then we have bad debts written off. Yeah, that's a loss also. Yeah, that's a loss. So I'll pick it. And it doesn't have any adjustment. So I'll just pick it the way it is. Yeah. So now I'll go to, after adjusting what is available on the trial balance, now I'll go to additional information and check. So I'll start with one. Inventory as 30th June was value. No, that's already used. As of 30th June, accrued insurance expenses amounted to 1,700, while outstanding salary amounted to 4.5 million. Yeah, I've already used this. So depreciation is to be provided per annum as follows. Yeah, so I have not calculated the depreciation for the year. So this is what I will do. I'll calculate the depreciations here. Yeah, so I'll start with the building. For the building, we are told that it was 2.5% on reducing balance. Yeah, so I'll pick the 2.5%. So this is what I will do. Let me just list them here. So these are depreciation. So I just say depreciation. And maybe let me put it in italics. Then I bold it in italics so that you can see it on your side then clearly, because I want to say depreciation then for each, for building. So I'll come to building. So I just copy this and I also copy equipment. Then I also copy for motor vehicle. Sorry, for motor vehicle. Yeah. So I'll calculate depreciations here for each. So I'll start with the building. So I've said equals to, it was 2.5% on a reducing balance. So I'll take the 2.5%. Yeah, and I want this to appear in to be negative because it's an expense. So I'll just put a negative sign, then I pick the rate, then I'll multiply. Because it is on a reducing balance, I'll take the cost of the building, which is 180. Then I'll subtract the accumulated depreciation up to 1st July 2021. So the accumulated depreciation is 60. Yeah. Then I just say enter. So I'll have 3,000 as the depreciation for the year under building. So I'll go to the next one, which is equipment. And I'll start with a negative sign because I want the depreciation to appear in negative as an expense. So I'll go to equipment. So I'll pick, it was 10% on a straight line. So straight line, you just multiply by the cost. Yeah. You multiply directly by the cost of the equipment. So what was the cost of the equipment? It was 109, 100. So I just enter. Yeah. So lastly, depreciation for motor vehicle, it was, so I'll start with a negative sign. It was 20%. So I'll multiply. It was also on a reducing balance. So I'll multiply by the cost less the accumulated depreciation, which is here. For motor vehicle, it's here. Yeah, so I'll get, so this is the value that I'll get for motor vehicle. Yeah, so that's all about depreciation for the year. So I'll go to the next item. Provide for audit fees and corporate tax for the year ended 30th June 2022 at shilling 6 million and 35.5 million respectively. Yeah, so I'll have audit fee. Yeah. And it was 6,000. So I just put a negative sign, then I select it. Yeah, so that's all, because for corporate tax, I'll have to calculate it after the net profit. So I just come here and say, now the net profit, I think there's no any other adjustment under expenses. So I'll just go to the net profit. So my net profit will be equals to, I'll sum from total income. So I'll sum all the way from here up to there. So I'll have 76,790 as the net profit. Let me just bold it. Yeah, then after that, now I'll have the corporate tax. Yeah, so I just write tax. And it was 35. Yeah, we provide for 35.5. So I just pick it. 5.5. So that I have the profit after tax. So I'll have the profit after tax, which is also PAT. We just put it in the form of PAT. So I'll just sum these two. And I enter. Yeah, so that's my profit after tax. Just bold it. Yeah, we bold it. Then I'll create a top border. Then I'll create a bottom double border. Yeah, so that's my profit after tax. So that's how I was supposed to do part A of that question. So with up to this point, you are done with the statement of profit or loss. So the next thing, I'll go to the statement of financial position as of 30th June 2022. So I just come here. And I'll just copy the name of the company. It was called Pillar Limited. Yes, I'll write statement. Statement of profit. No, statement of financial position. Sorry, statement of financial position. Yeah, as at 30th June 2022. Yeah, so I just create a bottom border. So once I'm done with the bottom border, so I just highlight this. I just want to merge and center as I bold it so that your work can look neat. Yeah. Then you bold. Yeah, your work on BDA is to be presentable. Yeah, you have to be presentable. Yeah, you are doing the actual work now. So your work must be presentable. Yeah, so with that, now I'll have the shillings in thousands. So I just copy it. And let me just bold this. Yeah, so I'll start with the non-current assets. So just bold this, then you create a bottom border. Yeah, so the values that we'll have on and current assets are the net book value. So I'll start with weird building. So I just copy them. Just copy this. So I'll have building. Then the next one will be equipment. Then the other one is motor vehicle. Was there any other non-current asset like investment? Yeah, so you check here whether there was any other non-current asset. So there's no any other non-current. So there are three. Yeah, so this is how you'll go about it. So now for building, you will start with the cost. Yeah, so the building at cost, the original cost, yeah, which is on the trial balance. So you start with this. Then you subtract the accumulated depreciation up to 1st July. Yeah, the accumulated depreciation up to 1st July was this. Then you also subtract the depreciation for the year. So because the depreciation for the year is in negative, so I'll add it back. Yeah, I'll add it because it's on negative. Yeah, I calculated it here, it's negative. So I'll add it back. Yeah, so that I get the value. Yeah, so I'll have 117,000 as the net book value for buildings. I'll do the same to the equipment. And for equipment, I'll pick the cost. I'll subtract the accumulated depreciation up to 1st July 2021. Then I'll subtract again, I'll add back the depreciation for the year. Yeah, I'm adding because these values are negative. Yeah, if the depreciation was positive, then I could have subtract. But because now I'm supposed to subtract the depreciation for the year and they're in negative, here I'll have to add them back. So that is subtract automatically. Yeah, so I'll have 56,790 as the value for equipment. So I'll do the same to motor vehicle. So motor vehicle at cost was this. Then I'll subtract the accumulated depreciation here. Then I'll add back the depreciation for the year. Yeah, and I've explained why I'm adding back. I'm just adding back because this is already negative. Yeah, that's why I'm adding that. But the procedure is that you subtract the accumulated depreciation, then subtract also the depreciation for the year. So by adding the depreciation for the year, I'm just adding because I put these values under expenses and they're negative. Yeah, I hope that is clearly understood. Yeah, so I'll have 13,200. So I'll sum this. Yeah, the total non-current assets, sum them here. Yeah, let me just create the top border. Okay. Yeah, so the next thing I'll look for the current assets. Yeah, so yeah, always you start with the inventory. So I just write inventory. Inventory, and my inventory should be the closing inventory. Yeah, this one under additional information number 1. So that's what you pick. Yeah. So the inventory did not have any adjustments. So we'll go to the next item will be accounts receivable. Yeah, so under accounts receivable, what was the value? So I just go to the trial balance and check. Account receivable is this. Yeah, it's always on the debit side. Yeah, so account receivable is 96,800. So I'll just pick it the way it is. Then the other item, was there prepayment? No, there was no prepayment. Yeah, so I'll check another item. No motor vehicle salary. There's a bank balance. So we'll also have bank balance here. So I just copy it. But bank balance. Then I'll have it there. So my bank balance will be 17,900. Yeah, and I think that's the current asset. So you don't have any other current asset because there was no prepayment. So I'll sum this. enter. So I just create a top border. Then I'll go now to the current liabilities. So I'll bold this also. Then I just create the bottom border. So I'll start with accounts payable. So the accounts payable, it's there on the trial balance where we had accounts receivable. So it's on the credit side. So I just pick it. There it is, yeah. So the other items, I'll now go to additional information. Yeah, because here there's no any other current liabilities. So I'll go to additional information number 2. As of 30th June 2022, accrued insurance expenses amounted to shillings 1,700. Yeah, it's amounted to shillings 1,700. So I'll pick it, the accrued, I just write accrued insurance. Yeah, that's a liability. Yeah, that's a liability. Yeah, because it's an accrual. So I just pick this and enter. Yeah, then on the same statement, we are while outstanding salaries and wages amounted to 4.5 million. So that's another current liability. So we'll have outstanding. Outstanding wages and salary. Yeah, it's an outstanding. So it's a current liability. Yeah, it's yet to be paid. Then I'll go to depreciation. No, that's okay. We have worked with that. Then there was a provision for audit fees. Yeah, there was a provision. Yeah, so provision is a liability. Yeah, provision for audit fees. Yeah, so we treat it as an expense. It's a double entry. So we treat it as an expense. At the same time, you treat it as a liability because it's a provision. Yeah. So the provision for audit fee, it was 6,000. So I'll pick it. Yeah, then there was also provision for, yeah, even tax, there was a provision for corporate tax of 35,500. So just say provision for tax. For tax payable, yeah, you can use any provision for tax. So tax was 35,500. Then there was a statement that directors proposed transfer of this to the general reserve and dividend of 10% for ordinary shares. Yeah. So there was also provision for dividends. So we just write here provision. Yeah, it was a proposal. So it's a provision for dividends. So the provision for dividend will be 10%. So I just pick the 10% of the ordinary shares. And the ordinary shares were 100,000. Ordinary share capital. Yeah. So get that. Is there any other adjustment? Let me see. Provide for the director transfer and general reserve will use it. It's on the appropriation account. And then no, there's no any other adjustments. So I think with current liabilities, we are done. So I'll just sum them. Yeah, so we'll have 103,200. So I'll just create a top border. Yeah, and maybe you allow me to highlight the values to bold this so that you can see it clearly on your side. Yeah, I'll also bold the total current liabilities. Yeah, so now after this, now I'll have to look for the net capital employed. Net capital employed. Net capital employed. So net capital employed will check the non-current assets, this, and we add to current assets. Then we subtract the current liabilities. Yeah, of the net capital employed. So we'll have 222,490. So let me just bold it. Yeah, so the net capital employed should balance. I'll show you. Let me just create the top border. Then I create the double bottom border. Yeah, so that you can see. So the net capital employed is this. So it should be financed by, yeah, it should be financed. Yeah, this should be financed by equity and the non-current liabilities. Yeah, so I'll check for the financed. So right there, financed by. So the first thing will be the ordinary shares. Yeah, and what we'll get under finance should balance with the net capital employed. Yeah, so I'll start with the ordinary share capital. So I'll pick it. Sorry. Let me copy the ordinary share capital. Yeah, then the amount, because there was no any issue, so there's no adjustment on this. So I'll pick it the way it is. Then the next one will be the other item. You go to the trial balance and you can see we have retained earnings. Yeah, so I'll also write retained earnings. Retained earnings. Yeah, but under retained earnings, we'll have adjustments. Yeah, because from the retained earnings is where we transferred 7,500 from the retained earnings. Yeah, so this is what we'll do, and also we pay dividends from the retained earnings. So this is what we'll do. So retained earnings are just equals to, then I'll pick the profit after tax, this. Yeah, so once I've picked the profit after tax, I'll subtract the transfer to the general reserve. Yeah, that's the first thing I'll do. Yeah, then after that, now I'll add the retained earnings brought down or brought forward. Yeah, the one for on 1st July, retained earnings, this one. Yeah, so I'll add it back. Yeah, is when now I'll subtract, now I'll pay the dividend. Yeah, so I'll subtract the dividend. Where's the dividend? Is the amount for dividend this year. Now I'll subtract this and I enter. Yeah, so I'll have 54,990 as the retained earnings. Actually, this is what we have done. So let me work here so that you can see what I've done. So we have the profit after tax. Let me explain it here. Profit after tax was this. Then from this, we transfer to general reserve. So just write general reserve. So I just say GR. We transferred how much? We transferred, so I'll put a negative because it's deducting that. So we transferred 7,500. Yeah. Then we add, there was the retained earning brought forward. Yeah, brought forward. The one for July 2021. Where is it? Where is it? The one for the, yeah, retained earnings 1st July 2021. Yeah. So you add it back. Yeah, you add it back. So let me just say equals. Then I pick the value, add it back. Then you pay dividend. Pay dividend. Yeah. Then you pay dividend. This is actually what I've done down there. I'm just trying to explain to you so that you can understand. Yeah. So yeah, You pay dividends. Dividend you pay. So when you pay, it's reduce the retained earnings. So I'll just subtract what was paid for dividends. Yeah. So that when I sum all this, I'll get the same value I have here. Let me sum this. Yeah, I'll have 54,990, and that's what I have here. Yeah, so that's what I have here. So you take the PAT, you transfer the general reserves, then you add back the retained earnings brought forward, then you pay dividend, and you have that. So another item, you check on the total balance after retained earnings. I saw something like general reserve. Yeah, there was a general reserve of 60,000, and this was carried. This was brought forward. Yeah, so to also be financed by general reserve. Yes, the general reserve will be equals to, so you'll take the balance brought forward, which is this, but there was also a transfer. Yeah, we have just transferred 7,500. So it means that that will increase the value of the general reserve. So I'll transfer 7,500. Yeah. Was there any non-current liability like debenture or long-term loan? Let me see. There was no any other. Yeah, because this has to be the net capital employed had to be financed by the equity and the non-current liabilities. Yeah, but in this question, there was no non-current liability. So let us see if these values will balance the net capital employed. So let me just add them. Sum this. Yeah, and I'll have exactly the same value. Yeah, so the value it's exact. Yeah, so it's 22,490. So it has balanced. It has balanced. So I'll get the top border and put the lower bottom border. Bottom double border. Yeah. And with that, I'm done with the statement of financial position. Yeah, and with that, you'll have your 30 marks. Yeah, with that, you will walk away with your 30 marks. Yeah, and this is basic. This is basic financial accounting. Yeah, and it forms parts of the business data analytics syllabus. Yeah, because it's the financial statements of a company. Yeah. So apart from the published and the consolidation, yeah, this is also key when it comes to data analytics. Yeah, you also have to know how to prepare the statement of profit or loss and statement of financial position of a limited company. So thank you so much for watching this video, and without you, I can't be where I am today. So continue subscribing to my channel so that whenever I post a video like this, you become notified immediately. Thank you so much and enjoy your day wherever you are. Thank you.